Hello, welcome. I'm going to play Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man for the original Intellivision. It's released in 1983 by Mattel Electronics. So I'm going to go with the easiest difficulty, but it's just the starter one, because after you pass through the game one time, which doesn't take long, it just ups the difficulty, so it really doesn't matter what you start at. I mean, get a little practice, I guess, before you get to the hard stuff. But, like I said, it is the same thing over and over. Alright, so there's a lot on screen. He-Man's in the Wind Raider. The manual calls this Phase 1. There's 2 phases in the game. You see Skeletor runs along the bottom. You can bomb him for bonus points. But when you drop a bomb, the forward guns don't work until the bomb is, reaches its target. These are fireballs. You have to either shoot or dodge. And the Wind Raider can turn around too, but you're trying to reach a destination. So on the bottom of the screen, the first number is number of lives. And the second number is the distance remaining to the target, where you're going to land. And the number after that is the fuel. You're not likely to run out of fuel. If it gets below the distance remaining, though, you automatically lose. But that would only happen if you fly backwards, which you sometimes have to avoid things. And the red numbers, fireballs hit, and blue is Skeletor's hit. Or I think they say caught, but he's not really caught when he's running around the whole time. So Phase 2 is a sequence of 3 screens. They're all the same, basically. It's just different environments. We're just trying to reach Skeletor, where it jumps into an automatic sword fight, and you chase him. That's all automated. You have no control over that. Now, He-Man does have a shield, but if you don't use it, you get bonus points. Since I'm on the easiest difficulty, this first time through is simple enough. Next time I'll definitely have to use the shield. So now we enter Castle Grayskull. You'll notice Skeletor also drops a power sword from time to time, like he just did. It's just for an extra 5 seconds. But you do get more points. Oh, I thought I made it. I had a good time. I was going to say you get more points for more time remaining. Boy, Skeletor is getting lucky. Oh. Oh, come on. There we go. There's a time limit. It starts counting at that first screen, and then it's used for all 3 screens at one timer. So now we're back to the Wind Raider to repeat the whole game. That's basically the whole game, you just saw it. But it gets harder. You notice the fireballs now are in different colors. They take more shots to destroy. They can get as high as 6 shots, which of course will be quite difficult. You gotta really fire quick, which I'm not doing so much while I talk. This game is available on Atari 2600. ColecoVision version was made and it was completed, but it was never released. Oh, it got me. A sequel was also in development, but Mattel Electronics went out of business before that was released. I think it may have been near completion. What I read was that was used to make Diner, which there's a sequel, or Mattel sequel to Burger Time. Now this game has what they call SuperGraphics. This is a marketing term. Basically, the programmer did something. I'm going to use the shield now. I guess it's kind of like a trick to make the game run smoother and faster than normal. The way I guess other Intellivision games are programmed. So marketing put SuperGraphics across the corner of the box. Something else unique on this box is on the back of the box it lists the people who worked on the game, which was a rarity back in the early 80s. This is the first Mattel Electronics game to publicly show who the programmer is, and I don't remember all the other credits. Music maybe. I think it has 4 people on the back of the box. Because back then they tried to hide who worked at a company to avoid the headhunters. They'd hire them away for the competitors. Now we got green fireballs. Really, the SuperGraphics thing was actually, the programmer came up with it while working on a sequel to Night Stalker, but that was never completed, or I don't know if it was even off the ground really. I knew that was going to get me. But he was pulled off that project to work on this because the programmer working on this, well, they had 2 programmers. One was doing phase 1, one phase 2. The guy doing phase 2, I guess they didn't like his work. So with 4 weeks to go before release, which sounds crazy, it certainly would be today, they pulled him off and put the other guy on who came up with the SuperGraphics thing. So it may not even, probably isn't even in this phase. It's just something, I guess, probably for He-Man's animation in the second phase. Yeah, I keep running into those stupidly. That's okay. There's not a lot to see. I do want to show you the what happens when you lose on phase 2. That's probably about it. So, I think this game is good. In fact, it may be the best Masters of the Universe game in North America. Before I get to that, I don't see anything inherently wrong with it. Most games back in the early 80s, arcade-style games, like many things were generally go for the high score. The game's going to keep repeating the same screen or few screens at a higher difficulty, and you just keep going. This game looks good, sounds good. It'd be nice if it had more to it, but like I said, that's basically how things were back then. Jeez, I keep trying to raise the shield and I miss. I mean, wouldn't you like to have Adam raise the sword, become He-Man? That'd be cool, but probably couldn't do the digitized speech. I mean, baseball has it, and then there's the Intellivoice component, but yeah, that would be difficult, I imagine. It'd be nice to have Battle Cat in here, too. The Wind Raider actually looks really good. It has moving parts on it. So I say it's probably the best game in North America because there's only one other game based on this license. I forgot one to lose. Alright, I gotta get back to phase 2 again so I can show you what happens when you lose. So, it's released in '83, said, and then you have to wait 19 years for another Masters of the Universe game if you live in the US. Oh boy, that's gonna get me should fly backwards, but I don't know. I hate going backwards. It's nice turning around, then it doesn't always work too well either. But the only other game released in Jeez, I thought I hit that. North America, based on this, on Masters of the Universe, is the Game Boy Advance game, which is based on a third cartoon. I've not played it. It didn't get great reviews. This is going to be tricky. Because then there's the other one coming down. So the UK got 3 more games in the 80s. I'm going to get hit again. I'm doing really bad. Got a ways to go. I gotta be careful here. Uh-oh, one of the movies. These are the pain. Oh no. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna restart a game and lose on the second phase because I did so bad there. I still wanted to talk a little bit about the other games. I said UK got 3 computer games in the 80s. 2 based on the cartoon and 1 based on the Dolph Lundgren movie. Well, we didn't get any of those. They're on Commodore, ZX Spectrum. Well, the movie game was on a few other computers, like Atari ST. And then there's also a PlayStation 2 game that came after the Game Boy Advance game, but that got canceled. It was originally announced for the US, but only released in Europe. I think the computer games might be UK only, the PS2 games in other regions in Europe. Yeah, although this was a huge license in the 80s, it just doesn't have many games. I mean, the computer games were made by other companies, because otherwise you'd think, well, Mattel also made the toys and had Mattel Electronics, so it was probably going to keep the license for itself, but once it stopped making games after shutting down Mattel Electronics, maybe nobody was interested in the license anymore. So the reason I'm playing this today, which would be, or posting it in July 2021, is because there's a new cartoon debuting on Netflix. Sorry, I want to lose in this section. Oh, it doesn't matter which screen. Better not get the sword. So I decided, you know, I was originally intended to play this game when the new movie released, but I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if it's even still getting made. Because that was a while ago. I thought it was going to come out before now, or I don't know, the pandemic I'm sure messed things up too, but then this new cartoon was announced for Netflix. It was announced last year and it's coming out this week. So, you know, I try to play certain games when they relate to current events, often licensed games or sports games. I don't know if I mentioned, these are supposed to be lightning balls. That's what the manual says. So you get fireballs and then lightning balls. I should try to get to him before losing on the grayskull screen. All that really happens, you just get, you know, this sequence just ends and you go back to the Wind Raider. But he gets, it's supposed to be, they call it a cyclone, a magic cyclone spell. There he goes. And away we go in the Wind Raider again. So, gonna stop the video here. Thanks for watching.